Good morning everyone and welcome back. It's actually not too bad out there today, although you can see that the fog has just started to roll in. It was actually quite clear before, but it is getting a bit misty through there at the moment. And it is cold. It's a real cold morning. It's not frosty. I don't think it's going to be frosty, but it's certainly a bit chilly on the fingers. So this morning, this is their second to last milking. So tomorrow we are drying off. We have already dried the dad's herd or the young herd off. We did that on Friday. Today is Wednesday, and these girls are going to get done tomorrow. So just to prepare for it, I've got a list here of all the cows that I need to dry cow. There's 34 on it, and Dad is just going through at the moment, calling out the numbers. 35, 25. So she'll get it tomorrow. Yep.
308, 224.
Oh, which one's 308? This one here.
This one. 156 and 309.
Well, that is pretty much everything. There is, I think, 5 or 6 in the yard, so Dad will milk them. And I'm gonna go and get in, there's just another mob straight through there in this paddock right by the shed. I drafted them out yesterday, so some of them are getting sold to Steve. He's buying the good empties, like these two here. They are going to his today at 10:30. So I'm gonna draft them out, and then the rest of them are Carl's. Mike, the builder, he's actually taking 15 because he's got quite a bit of grass down at his place, so he's going to take them through the winter, take the skinnier ones through the winter, feed them well, and then sell them sort of before July, I think it is. Really didn't want to go to the shed this morning. It's been a bit of hard work getting them out of that paddock, but I painted them yesterday so that these red lines, they're the culls, and the blue lines, like that one up there, they are the empties, just to make it a little bit easier to look at them while they're in one big group. It's actually not too bad though. The fog sort of disappeared for now. Yesterday it was absolutely horrendous. It stuck around to about 12 o'clock, sort of 1 o'clock, and at about lunchtime then it stuck around. It was real thick and it was real cold. So today is much improved. But Big Yellow is just starting to come over the clouds now, so a bit of warmth won't be far away. Oh, that sure is nice. That side's milked, and now I just need to go through, make sure everything's got their NATE tags, which are these little white dots over there. So that one's got it, she's got hers, and also need to take these collars off. All done, milking is all finished, everything is drafted. So these girls, I need to sort them out of paddock. These are the cull cows. I was just going to put them back in with the main herd today and then just draft them out tomorrow, but there is only about 20, maybe early 20s, 22 of them, so I'm thinking I might just dry them off now. Just going to put them in a paddock with not much grass in it. They'll be sweet, they're not really given a lot anyway. That's pretty much why they're cull cows. And then I don't have to draft them again tomorrow morning, which will be good, just saves a job. And then it'll be easy drafting them up on Friday when Mike's going to take his 15. They are going on Friday, so that's what I might do, I think. Should be right in there for the day. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, I think. It was pretty rough. And I might just stick these other ones in here till the truck comes. Look who's turned up this morning though. Yes. Nice fine day to do it too. I know there's 16 of these girls. Well, there's actually only 14 plus 2 that I am keeping or carrying over. Like this girl here, number 40. I've actually left her collar on, but I've just turned the collar off, so when she gets back on farm in a couple of months, I'll just turn it back on again. But I thought it'd be easier than sort of assigning her a new one when she gets back and all that. But these girls should be happy here for a couple of hours. They're not. They think they've been a bit hard done by, and they probably have, but you girls have finished for the year, whereas these ones are still going. Well, the digger's made a start down at there, but we'll go and catch up with him later on. I'm just going to go and get some bales, feed to these dry cows now, get them all shifted. Fog's starting to roll back in again. It's actually getting quite thick out there now. I don't think it'll be as bad as yesterday because there's not a lot of cloud up there, so it should lift. But this is that new grass that I grazed a while ago with the milking cows, and it's just looking so good. I'm real happy with it. That spray definitely worked too. It's actually not too weedy, which is nice to see too. But man, it is looking awesome. I bought a bale over for tomorrow, so I'll feed that out after the one on the back. Put it down here somewhere. Should be alright. They're all good, nice and happy. Heifers are just straight through there, so I might actually just pop over now and do them. I was going to come back on my motorbike, but I mean, you sort of got to drive through this paddock, so I might just do it while I'm over here. They're all good now, and I've got a break. I was shifting them twice a day, but they are on a bit of a flat this afternoon and got quite a big break over there, so I'm wondering whether I just go one day in there. Plus it's fine at the moment, so it's a little bit easier. This break's quite big, so yeah, will I go 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, or afternoon this afternoon and then tomorrow morning? Then I'm not really sure when they're going to go after that, so I might just come over this afternoon, see how they're getting on. If they don't need shifting, I might just leave them, and then I can get 3 days. What's today? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then it's supposed to be wet on Friday, so they probably need shifting twice then anyway. And that would work, I think. Maybe I'll just do that. But that is everything shifted now. Man, it's a weird sort of morning. It's like it goes fine, and then all the fog clears, and then more comes in. But another hour and it should be all gone. Breakfast time. Pretty keen for a coffee, to be honest. Well, he's getting through this way faster than I thought he might, but what he's doing is just cleaning this drain. You can see how gunked up it is. and there's actually so much water running down, it's pretty unreal. But I actually lost this paddock this summer. It's just been so wet, I just haven't put the cows in there. I don't want to make a mess, stuff it up more than it already is, so hopefully by sort of draining this so we can drain it a little bit better, it's going to dry this paddock out a little bit. Although it has been really wet, so that hasn't helped, but it's amazing the amount of water that is running down here. These drain cleanings, they will just sort of sit here for the winter, and then once it dries out, probably next summer, then I can come in and move these. There's not much point carting them away at the moment. We thought we'd just make a plan, put them here, and then move them at another stage once they're all dry. This stuff is like pretty good to use in places, especially if you got holes and stuff like that, so we'll find somewhere for it. It's just gone 10:30, so I've put these girls in the yard here. They can wait here until the truck comes. I did say a while ago I was going to carry a few cows over, and I was originally going to do like 3 or 4, but I've only sort of picked 2, and they're both 2-year-olds. They're really nice sort of 2-year-olds, and they seem like a bit of a shame to sort of to sell on. So I usually don't do it, but this year I thought I'll just do it with 2, and we'll see how we get on. I've heard from people that they get in calf the following season, so when we get them back in July, they'll get in calf that mating, but it's the year that follows that they might not again. So if that happens, then potentially I won't do it again in the future. But yeah, they're just like really nice young cows, so I wanted to sort of keep them. And Steve said he didn't mind. He's milking a herd which he's not mating, so he's able to, which works pretty well. Cows are all loaded, but how cool is this? So catching up with an old mate. Me and Pilks here went to uni back at Lincoln, and geez, when did we start? 2009. Yeah, so it was a while ago. Too long, but yeah, he drives for road haulage, and they're picking up the cows today. And he's an avid watcher of my videos, so that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, man, it's good.
Nice Scania H-plated truck. No trailer today, but nice rig.
Yeah, get a new one soon.
Do you?
Yeah.
Cool. Look at this. I just seen this cutout, but it must be camera up there, is it? Dash cam?
Top. Now I've got sensors for collision.
Oh, is it collision sensor there too? Far out. Because you got an H-plated truck, that means you got a 5-axle trailer.
Yeah.
Instead of which a normal one would be a 4-axle. But how many more cows can you get? I know it depends on the size of the cow, but on average, how many more cows could you get on an H-plated truck and trailer than a...
So it's more about weight. So like with the H sticker, I'm permitted to 52 ton.
Yeah.
So I can put on big cattle. I can go anywhere from 40 to 50 big cattle, big steers. But then cows, you don't want to overdo it. So if I do a full load, it's 52.
Oh yeah. So what do you say you're limited to 52 ton loaded?
Yeah.
Compared to, is it 40?
46.
46, so you get another 6 ton on there.
But I mean, obviously with the extra axle, that's how you get it.
Yeah.
So like we haven't got any 4 axles left, but
oh, true.
no, we got rid of them. But yeah, so if you had an old 8-wheeler, so like this with a 4-axle trailer, probably 44 was the old one, and 45, now 46.
Because you don't get any more on the trucks, it's just the trailers, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the only difference is just that extra axle on the trailer.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty cool. Interesting. Hopefully some of you guys out there found it interesting too. It's always good catching up with people we haven't seen in ages. Digger's all finished up here and it is absolutely amazing what it looks like now. So that is so much better. Look at the water, you can see the bubbles there. Just look at the water flow that's coming down. There's a lot of piles of stuff to move eventually. I didn't think we'd have quite that much, but there's more than you think. Well, there's actually a lot that have come out of there. It's, yeah, pretty amazing. The water level was up to there before, so it's dropped like probably about a metre or 3/4 of a metre. And you can see over here again, like if you look at the bubbles, look at just the amount of the water that is coming from that underground pipe over there. And it's actually coming from this paddock over here. So this drain along here, like it's moving, it's going under the race there, but this should really help in here too. Like it's been seriously wet in this, or through the low spot through here, so it should hopefully dry a lot of that out too. It's obviously going to get real wet again if it rains, but this should help big time. Like we should notice a massive difference. There's a lot of water coming out of there. And before we'd done this, you know, it was just sitting there. So it's good to see it heading out. On to the next job now though, which is this right here. And he's actually made a start. He's cracking his way through it pretty quickly actually. So we are pulling out this bit of hedge. It wasn't a real long one this side, but it ran from that strainer down the hill here and then pretty much to that tree there. Well, it's not really non-existent down the bit of hill, but we're taking this line out. We're also taking the line out which is down there. It's a short bit. That's the sort of reason that I had him in here to mainly, was just to pull that little bit out. Then I was thinking about it and I thought, oh well, if he's going to do that little bit, we might as well take this bit out here. And then because this morning I was thinking, well, we might as well get him to take this bit out here too, because there's only really there's like a strainer over there and it just goes down the hill there, because I kind of want to re-fence these paddocks. The whole idea of taking that little bit out down at the bottom was because I'm actually getting this whole area through here re-fenced. So you can see these sort of like seeps that run up. There's 1, 2 in there, and then this one through here. So that's going to be getting fenced off in probably a couple of weeks, and then being planted in native, so it's going to look really nice. But that bit down the bottom was like, probably 30-40 meters of where the fence was going to go. So I thought if we take that out, at least the whole lot can get joined up, so we don't have to come back and do it at another time. But I thought we might as well take this out too, because we'll probably re-fence it and run fences down to this new bit that's coming around. So I'll explain more in the future of what we're doing, and I'll go more into it once we start it. But it is a cool project that is coming up hopefully pretty soon. Well, that's looking top notch now. I'm not sure whether he is going to put that pile in the big one or not, but he's going to go make a start up the top there on the next bit of hedge. It's looking awesome down here. Did go through a water pipe, so we'll have to fix that at that stage. It's only 15 mil, but it goes to this trough over here, which we will need to sort out. Water's flowing back down. I actually fell in there just before. He was holding the water up here so he could sort of do this stretch just in there, and he had tripped over a reed and got pretty saturated actually. Look, my pants are soaking, got a lot of water in my gumboot. He's all moving it into one pile. There was quite a big tree just there. I think it was sort of like a gum or a willow tree. Might have been a willow tree, some form of one anyway, so it's good to sort of tidy that up. Once that dries out in the summer, we'll set light to it. While he's here though, I'm thinking I might do this one as well. Just keep the train moving, so I might pull this short one out, and then I want to re-fence that paddock. We're going to rip it out when we put maize in there next year. And that one up there, it's not too long, it's just like a barbed wire and batten fence. So rip this hedge out and then put a new 3-wire electric or 2-wire electric, and then just one that's not up there. And then I've sort of got power to this block too, which would be pretty nice. Just after 3 now, I've been over, let the cows go. I had a little bit of lunch before I am bringing them back. They're not going to go into the feed pad like they normally will, so this afternoon they are just going to go up to the shed, actually where I got those cull cows out of this morning. I'm just going to put them in that paddock. There's not a lot of grass in there, so I am sort of winding them down. Yeah, it's a good way to sort of dry them off. And then one more milking, so I am looking pretty forward to it. It has been a bit of a challenging season, so on one hand it's been nice having sort of grass and having a wet summer, but it has also been hard as well. So yeah, looking forward to getting this one under the belt anyway. One more to go, yes! It's finished up there now, so we're going to have a little look and see what it looks like, but there's just one big pile, and while he's here he's going past, so he might as well duck in and rip it out. There's just a strainer in over here, this corner here, so I've cut the wires down this stretch. There's only 4 of them that are in the hedge, but he said it wouldn't take him long to do, maybe a couple of hours to sort of get this little stretch all cleaned up, and then he's done. But this is the fence I was saying I want to pull this fence out, because both these paddocks are going to go in maize, just to make it easier, have longer runs. This annual down here is looking pretty good though. I reckon it's probably ready to be grazed, so when the cows are around here I will run them in here. They might get 2 days out of this. It's about 1.5 hectares, but this is the fence I was saying I want to pull this fence out, because both these paddocks are going to go in maize, just to make it easier, have longer runs. And then we might as well pull this fence out too, so we've got electricity that'll come right the way up there, and then we'll probably split this one in half again. So yeah, get electricity out that way, up that way, down there, make things a lot easier. And it looks so much better already. They're going to come into here where those cull cows were this morning, so there's not a lot of grass, which is good because we are trying to shut them down, and it's real handy in the morning, just out that gate into the shed, nice and easy. Yes. They're definitely not happy. They want to go into a fresh paddock, but come on girls, you're on holiday tomorrow. It's for your own good. Just been finding eels with the kids. When he cleaned the drain out, they do scoot them out and they slither along on the grass. So he's sort of going to look for them, throw them back in the water again. But this fence line is looking pretty clean, so it's just ready for a fence now. It's looking awesome. Check out how dark that soil is. Nice ashy soil down here. I'm just wondering whether I'll have to go and map it on the computer. Google Maps is good for it, but whether I actually change the line of the fence up there, because it sort of goes straight and then it bows that way. So this paddock here is a little bit of a funny shape, so whether I just carry it like straight through, make that paddock a little bit smaller, but it'd be the same size as this one then, which would be handy. Won't know till I sort of map it out and sort of play with it, but there's no real rush to do that. I'll probably just chuck a reel and standards up here for now, and then we'll probably look to do that once maybe next summer when the maize is in. Maybe we should just put this paddock here into maize too and just do this whole big block, because if we're going to do that one and this one, I don't know, something to think about anyway. Far out, that just opens it up unbelievably. Looks awesome. Pretty good though. It only took a day to do all of this. They're only little bits of hedges, and that drain didn't take as long as they think they were going to do either. They thought it was going to be like real soupy, but it was actually pretty firm, so it made it easier. You could take more of a bite with the bucket. Well, this is awesome. I've wanted to do this for a while, so it's good to sort of tidy these little bits up. Also means they don't need to get cut every year now too. And I know people think it's bad pulling out hedges, it's a bad look, but here in New Zealand we don't have native animals that nest in them. So these were to keep like windbreak for stock. I like trees better because if we can put the right sort of trees in, especially once this is going to be planted, hopefully we can attract wood pigeons here one day, or kiriru as they're known here in New Zealand. They are native, so if we can get them back onto the farm, it would be pretty cool. So there is an ecological corridor that runs past here. It's actually that way, and that is the whole aim of that project, is to bring native birds back in, because most of our native animals in New Zealand are birds. But I'll get into that a little bit more once we sort of start that project. But it is pretty exciting and looking definitely forward to it. So that will pretty much wrap this video up, guys. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, last milking for the season done, and then we got sort of a 8-week break. Well, it's not really a break, it just means I don't have to milk for about 7 to 8 weeks, but it is kind of a break, sort of get refreshed and ready for the following season. But I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Give it a thumbs up, that'd be awesome, and apart from that, see you next time.